Well, this might come as a good news to some people. Muhammadu Buhari, the president, has approved the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) request for the extension of the deadline for swapping of old naira notes to the newly redesigned ones. In fact, right now, there are certain people who are not collecting, they are not trading with the old naira notes. They are afraid that they might have so much of it and they will not be able to use this in the future. A 7-day grace period on February 10 to February 17, 2023 has been approved to enable Nigerians deposit their old notes at the CBN after the February deadline, when the old currency would have lost its legal tender status. 10-day extension of the deadline from January 31st, 2023 to February 10, 2023 to legitimately allow Nigerians to swap their old cash for the new one. A 7-day grace beginning on February 10 to February 17, 2023, in compliance with Section 20, Subsection 3 and 2022 of the CBN Act, allowing Nigerians to deposit their old notes at the CBN after the February deadline, when the old currency would have lost its legal tender status. This followed the president's meeting with the Apex Bank Governor, Godwin Emefiele, in his country home in Daura, Katsina State on Sunday. Emefiele briefed correspondents after the meeting, revealing that 75% of the 2.7 trillion held outside the bank system has been recovered.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the onset of this currency redesign program, we made it clear that for 19 years, the CBN hasn't been able to conduct this important aspect of its mandate, whereas this should normally have been done within a 5 to 8 year window. Our aim mainly is to make our monetary policy decisions more efficacious, and like you can see, we've started to see inflation trending downwards, and the exchange rate is relatively stable. As at October 2022, currency in circulation had risen to 3.23 trillion naira, out of which only 500 billion was within the banking industry, and 2.7 trillion held permanently in people's homes. Ordinarily, when CBN releases currency into circulation, it is meant to be used, and after a friction of time, it returns to the CBN, thereby keeping the volume of currency in circulation under the firm control of the CBN. So far, and since the commencement of this program, we have collected about 1.9 trillion naira, leaving us with about 900 billion to 1 trillion naira, and 1 trillion naira to be collected.
Wow, that's big, that's huge. In his words, he said, aside from those holding illicit, stolen naira in their homes for speculative purposes, we do aim to give all Nigerians that have naira legitimately earned and trapped the opportunity to deposit their legitimately trapped monies at the CBN for exchanged. Based on the foregoing, we have sought and obtained Mr. President approval for the following. Our CBN staff currently on mass mobilization and monitoring, together with officials of the EFCC and ICPC, will work together to achieve their objectives. We therefore appeal to all Nigerians to work with the Central Bank of Nigeria to ensure a itch-free implementation of this, to allow this process to run. Well, a lot of people believe that this policy is targeted against 2023. They do not want people who have hoarded money to have access to it, to go around, doing whatever it is that they do. Now that we've come to the end of the month and it is the beginning of this policy, the beginning of the rollout of the exchange, and we know February, we are talking about elections. Once this happen, this will kind of create that, friction. It will create disturbances for those who might have ordered money, hoping to use the money for some election, fraud and bribing and whatever it is that they will want to do. And not just that alone, some people have held the money according to him, for speculative purposes, either for exchange and all of that. He said the money that we've put around is not coming back as we expect. It is not moving around. People are hoarding the money, creating this terrible economic situation in Nigeria. Well, there are a few comments anyway. Someone said it is not about extension date or deadline for the old currency, but the CBN should make the new currency available to banks through where it will be circulated and also available for everybody. Now, we even heard talks about certain politicians having somehow gotten access to this new currency. Everything works in that manner, in a corrupt, way. That's what it is. So they said they are already working on, how to get the money for themselves. And, well, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Well, so as not to be caught in between this, for those who are not so sure about the deadline, it is important that you do the needful. You do the needful. You don't have to wait for the 7 day, 10 days, either the dates are correct or not. If you have old Naira notes that needs to be taken out, you better deal with these people mean business. As you see, Emefiele had to go through some back door so as to make sure that he was not arrested. And they said certain politicians are behind it. They said a lot, and we do not know who is saying the truth or who is not saying the truth there. And they said this policy action taken by Emefiele is because of instructions from certain quarters to make sure that they crush, they stifle, they hold down certain individuals who might want to use the money for whatever nefarious activities during the elections, or those that are crumbling the economy by hoarding money. Now, I want to believe that this, might want to make some of them who hoard money to begin to hoard foreign currencies. And do not think that foreign currencies do not also go through the change. They also go through change. Once they realize that there is so much fake of a particular denomination, they will produce a new one, and that's it. And it is not just something that stays there forever, but it is easier for many of those people who deal with, taking this and that, hoarding money, and people who deal with this bribing and all of this. It is easier for them to have the Naira notes. They will be faster. It will be quicker for them to quickly share this for this market women, share this for that person, share this to the other person. That's how it rolls. But we know for certainty that this, so-called elite politicians, we know for a certainty that they will find a way around it. Definitely, they will always find a way around it, a way to get their hands on this Naira note. These guys know how to go about it. Now, about the Emefiele, situation, the report we're having is that they said even though the Naira notes and the operation of it and whatever it is still, is ongoing, he said he still risk being arrested. How true that is, I do not know. They might probably want to wait to see that he successfully execute what he needs to execute before they swoop him on him. We don't know what it is. Let us keep our fingers crossed. We will see. We'll see how all of this turns out to be. If Emefiele will be arrested, the reason why he should be arrested and all of that, we are going to find out all of this. It's not as if Emefiele also is clean. When I say clean, you know what I mean. There were audio notes that came out, voice note that came out back then of Emefiele's dealings and how he would illegally, issue out money, borrow out money, or do certain, borrowing that does not, that is not right for him to do. We've heard all of that. Do not forget to like and share this video. Do not forget to subscribe to this channel if you're new here. Thanks for watching.